Welcome to part 2 of our Ankara pencil dress series. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you step by step on how to sew a fitted Ankara pencil dress just like you are seeing on your screen. This tutorial has a part 1, this is the part 2, and the part 1 is basically how to cut this Ankara fitted dress. If you've not seen that part 1, you should check it out so that you will understand better where I am coming from. The link to the part 1 is currently showing up and it will also be down in the description box. Now that our pieces are perfectly cut, it's time to stitch them together piece by piece to create a polished runway ready fitted Ankara pencil dress. The first thing I did was to turn the back panel, the pencil parts of the back panel. So to do this, I'm going to be figuring out how long the zip will be extended into this lower part of the dress and how long my slit will be. So what I did was to place the half length up. Our half length is 15. I placed 15 up and then I marked how long the slit will be first. Because our full length is 57, I used 33. So from 33 to 57 will be the slit. Now the next is to figure out how long the zip will be on the lower parts of the dress. So to do this, I always love to place my zip on my dress. I don't just imagine. So because this half length is 15 inches and it will have neckline that is 1 inch deep, so I measured 14 on my zip and I placed the rest of the zip on the lower part of the dress and marked how long I want the zip to be on it. You don't necessarily have to use the whole length of the zip. Just figure out how long you want your zip to be on your dress. So from where the zip stops to where the slit starts, you are going to be stitching across this part. And at the upper part of the stitch, I used half inch, and at the lower part, I used 1¼ inch so that it will be slanted, so that that part can be very pencil. The next is to start turning. It's advisable to always start turning from the down. So I placed the lining on one side of the back panel, right side facing right side, and I turned the down first. After turning it down, you will discover that the lining is obviously shorter than the Ankara. So you have to take it up so that it will be the same length with the Ankara, and then you will turn the side. I'll be turning the shaping side first, and after turning the shaping side, I'm going to take the other side of the back panel inside and I will turn the zip side. So you are going to carefully take this other part that you are not working on yet. You put it in between the lining and the Ankara just like I'm doing. Then you are going to turn the zip allowance. While you are turning, please be careful so that you don't take the other part with it, so that you don't stitch the three parts together. It's just the lining and one part you are supposed to stitch together first. So you will turn from up to down. From where the slit starts, you can turn with hemming gum so that when you flip it to the right side and press it, the lining will stick down on the Ankara. So repeat the same process to the other side, and when I was done doing mine, this is what one side is looking like at this point. So just turn the other side the way you just did. Now this is the front panel. The front panel is way easier. It's just to turn it down, right side of the lining facing the right side of the Ankara. After turning it down, you are going to take the lining up to the same length as the Ankara, and then you will turn both sides and flip it to the right side and give it a good press. Majorly that is it. For the upper bodies, for the bodies, I'm going to be sewing the dart in an invisible way. The dart will be sewn at the upper part of this dress in a way that you won't see it, but at the lower part of this dress, I'll sew the dart in a visible way so that you can spot the difference. But for this upper part, I'm going to be sewing the dart in an invisible way. So what I'm doing now is I'm facing the lining to the Ankara. The wrong side of the lining is facing the wrong side of the Ankara. Wrong side of the lining facing the wrong side of the Ankara. The right side of the Ankara is facing up now and the right side of the lining is facing down. So from the middle, I'm going to be using 4 inches apart, like 8 inches apart for the dart, but from the middle, 4 inches away from the middle. So you're going to be folding on this dart point. You fold the lining and the actual fabric together and press it. Give it a very good press so that the fold can stay there. Then what I will do next is you can see the way I folded it. I folded the Ankara separately, the lining separately, each of them facing different directions. So for the length of my dart on this half cut, I use 3 inches. I'm going to be stitching the dart. The way I folded it is the way I'll be sewing the dart. You can see that when I opened it up, the joining, as in the dart is invisible, is inside. Is when you open it like this that you will see the dart. So is invisibly sewn. Then this is the back panel. I did the same thing. I marked the length of the dart and the point of the dart, and I proceeded to stitching after using my pressing iron to press the fabric and the Ankara so that it can press down very very well. So what is next is to turn. I'm going to be turning the neckline. I'll be turning the armhole because this dress doesn't have a sleeve. Then I'll be turning, this is the back panel, and I'll be turning the zip side and the shaping side. So I flipped the lining to the right side of the fabric. The right side of the lining is now facing the right side of my Ankara. And I'm going to be turning this neckline with hemming gum so that when I flip it to the right side and press it, the Ankara will come down on the lining, or the lining will come down on the Ankara. So I turned the armhole, the zip side, the shaping side, and then I brought it out from the down. It is that simple. This is for one side of the back panel. I'll be repeating this process to the other side of the back panel. You can see the way the dart is not showing, like it's not showing, unlike the lower part of the dress that I did a visible dart. This one is showing, but the other one is inside. I don't know if my explanation is clear. So for the front, I'll be turning the neckline, the armhole, the shaping side, and I face the right side of the Ankara to the right side of the lining. I'll still be using hemming gum to turn the neckline, and I turned the armhole as well. I turned one side, then I flipped it back to the right side before turning the second side. You can turn both armholes, but when you are done turning one side, flip it back to the right side before you turn this other side. So for this other side, I'll be flipping it this way, right side still facing right side, and I'll proceed to stitching. Flip this back to the right side, give it a very good press. For the neckline of the back, I'll not be pressing it at this point so that it doesn't stick down to, in fact, I'll not be flipping it to the right side yet. I just flipped the front to the right side. Remember that it's a sleeveless dress and I need to turn the shoulder line. So now I'll be turning the shoulder line. Just be mindful of that. The armhole for front and back have to align. Don't mistakenly face the armhole to the center front. The armhole have to be on armhole and right side has to face right side so that you don't get confused. So I'm going to be putting the front panel into the back panel shoulder line like this. Right side facing right side, armhole has to be on armhole. Please don't mistakenly face the armhole to the center. The armhole has to be on the side. So you do this to the both shoulder lines. You can now flip the back panel to the right side and you can now give it a very good press so that the hemming gum will gum together the Ankara and the lining. It's now time to join the lower part of this dress to the upper part. So you have to be careful, like you have to consciously place the two darts on each other. They have to align, like they have to be on the same line as much as possible. The upper dart and the lower part dart have to be on the same line. So when I was done doing this, I joined the back panel as well. I weaved the joining, I fixed my zip, and it's now time to shape. I love to start shaping from the back because this zip just helps me to know the center of my dress. So from the center, I divided the bust by 4, I marked that. I divided the waistline by 4, I marked that. You remember the first hip I spoke about in the part 1 of this tutorial? That's one of the reasons you have to watch the pattern of this tutorial. So I divided that first hip 2 by 4 and I marked that, and now this is the hip itself. I'm dividing the hip by 4 and I'm marking that. Then for the lower part of the dress, I just deducted 2 inches from the lower part. After cutting, there was a deduction I did during cutting. You might need to watch part 1, which is the cutting tutorial, to understand that. But now at this point of shaping, I still deducted 2 inches from the lower part of the dress on both sides. so that it can be very very painful. And while you are shaping, you have to make sure that the armhole is not too wide. In fact, if you've divided your bust correctly, you will see that it will automatically fall on the person's actual armhole. If you've curved your armhole correctly and then you've divided your bust correctly, you will see that it will automatically fall on the person's armhole. So when you are done shaping one side, flip the dress to the other side, and you are now going to divide the measurement by 2, starting from the first place that you have stitched. No longer by 4 like you did earlier, is now by 2. And as you are shaping, make sure that you are using your hand to arrange the dress very well so that it's not folded inside, so that your dress does not end up being bigger than the measurement that you're actually shaping. So for the lower part of this dress, when I measure what I have here is 16, and 16 multiplied by 2 is 32, and this person's hip is 36. So it is 4 inches smaller than the hip. You can make it slimmer than that. You can make it 6 inches smaller than the hip. It's just that have it at the back of your mind that the slimmer it gets, the tighter it gets, and will I say a little bit stressful to work. But for me, I just used 4 in like the hips minus 4 inches, and that is it for the cutting and sewing of this tutorial. If you've not seen the part one of this tutorial, check out the link to it in the description box below this video. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, kindly do, and turn on notification bell so that you'll be notified next time I upload a new tutorial on this channel. If you have any question, please ask me down in the comment section. As much as possible, you can help me share my tutorial amidst your friends and your loved ones. To watch the part 1 of this tutorial, which is a cutting tutorial, click on the box on the right side of your screen, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.